All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the CB Sports Podcast. I just want to start by saying thank you to everyone who supported episode 1, who watched what Clyde and I did, the Patriots season preview. You guys gave me a lot of encouragement and support, and I really appreciate that. So we're going to keep this thing going, and just a quick kind of introduction before I bring in my next guest, who I'm very excited to have on, my good friend Gabby. If you can't tell, I'm wearing my basketball jersey today. I got John Stockton on. We're going to talk some hoops, and Gabby is a guy who I played basketball with in high school. We used to, we were in the same grade, like every day, between class when we had minutes, we'd talk NBA. We would, talk about the players and who we liked and who we thought was good and, all this stuff. So we're going to do a bit of a kind of a current state of the NBA thing, and in conjunction with the U.S. men's Olympic basketball team. The Olympics are in full swing. It's so good to have the Olympics back. It's so good to be watching it on TV. And, our men's team is kind of, experienced mixed results so far. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to, kind of discuss who we think on the team is, an impact player. And I'm excited to keep this thing going. I've got other guests lined up. I'm trying to expand this into kind of a multi-interest, multi-topic thing. So please stay tuned. Please please subscribe. Your views, your likes, your subscribes, they all mean a lot. And, you guys make this all possible for me to keep doing this. So, without further ado, here's my, it looks like he's in the waiting room. Here's my buddy, Gabby. Welcome onto the show, Gabby. Here we go. Let him get in here. Always takes a second. Always takes a minute. There he is. Gabby. Dude, unmute your mic. I can change that. What's going on, man?
What's going on, bro? It's been too long.
Good to see you. I was trying to think of the last time I saw you. I think it was you came to see my band play at Elms College one time.
Yeah, and
a long time ago. Like
that was 20. Was it 15 or 16?
Yeah, somewhere around there, dude. I don't even know if I was out of college at that time. It's been that long.
I didn't even have glasses yet.
There's a good timeline.
Right. I didn't have glasses. I still had hair on my head. Like,
yeah. No, I think that was the last time I saw you in person. It's been a while. So we're both, we're here talking basketball today. We're both rocking our jerseys. I got the vintage Jazz on here. You got the Magic jersey. So we're both going old school. Have you seen that documentary about Vince Carter that Netflix did?
Yeah,
that was pretty good. I thought that was
for a while. Vince was, everybody wanted to be Vince, honestly. Right. Everybody wanted to be Vince. Everybody wanted to jump. Everybody wanted to do this and the third. But see, the thing that happened with Vince, I always liked Tracy though. When I saw him play, I was like, man, these two dudes are wicked. So it was Tracy, and then it was Vince Carter.
Right. But Tracy never really got his shine in Toronto,
But when he went down to Orlando,
that's when it all broke loose for sure.
Yeah.
So before we get going, I want to give you a minute to, I know that you've got a clothing line you're working on. You do some really great kind of, if I were to describe it, motivational, inspirational, positive message kind of videos on Instagram. If you want to just talk about that for a minute before we get going, and then we'll get into the topics.
All right. So as you said, my internet's all messed up. Hold on, but I have a clothing line. It's called JUSRAW. if you want to check out anything, because my link is weird, my Instagram is JUSRAW_official, and it's JUSRVW
Okay.
_.
Okay.
And I do the motivational thing. What I told myself was, I actually got, funny enough, I got it from Jake and Logan Paul, because I used to really
Okay, wow.
watch them, on YouTube every day. And I was like, dang, these dudes make videos every day. Like, I don't think they take a day off.
Right.
And Jake said, he was like, yo, like, I'm going to be the longest, like, daily vlogger ever. And I was just like, yo, that's really dope. And this is way prior to, boxing and all that.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so, I can't remember what, I think it was like 400 something days or something that he was just on it. I've missed days, but I got a different life. So
dude, that's such a grind, man. It's hard to, when we I mean, Jake and Logan Paul are obviously living a little bit different life than you and I are too. Like they probably can afford to do that all the time, but I didn't know that that's where that idea came from. I would have never thought that. Like, I mean, I always knew you were a writer and you're a poet and so I kind of thought it came more from that, but yeah, that's really cool to know.
That's where it came from, those two guys. Like, I really did. I was like, yo, and I still like them. Like, a lot of people are like, they're too controversial, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's dope. Like, I think it's dope. Like, just seeing somebody say they're going to do something and stick to it. Like, that
Right.
in itself.
It takes guts to get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. That's for sure.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't want to get punched around by that guy.
Nope. I wouldn't even want to piss him off, let alone
right.
you about to punch me. You ain't about to be poking. Nope, I'm good, bro. You got it, Floyd. You win.
No, and they're working hard. They're just grinding, man. They're doing what they got to do to, make a bit of, a lot of money probably, but we'll get there maybe.
Right.
But so yeah, so all right, let's get into this thing. So I'm gonna try to do a screen share with you right now, so you can see my my slides. Can you see that? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it a little bigger right now. Can you see that?
All right, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. So here we go. So let's start with some current events. So our boy Brody, Russell Westbrook, he's on his way to the Lakers.
Right.
I mean, let's start with the question I've got up there. Can anybody beat them if they stay healthy? What do you think?
All right, man. Look, I think personally, because Russie from my squad. Full disclosure, I'm a Supersonics fan. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Period. Right, yeah. No other team. That's my team. So, I love Russie. I have a weak. I have a weak spot for him. Them healthy, like, and stay healthy. No, because LeBron gets a chance to sit down. LeBron gets a chance to sit down. He has somebody that's gonna, with the same intensity, push the offense. AD healthy, and I was talking a little trash too. So if this get back to Anthony Davis, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking trash. Like, look, Anthony Davis doesn't want to be a big man, but then, like, I think it was the next day, I seen something pop up on Bleacher Report, and it was like, he's gonna play center minutes. So I was like, okay, so he is gonna be a big man. So that leads me to believe that they're working on some other pieces as well. So them healthy, no. And if they get a DeRozan or a Carmelo, even Jeff Green, because of that, again, another OKC guy. But if they get Jeff Green with his experience, no. I don't think they lose anybody. But the West is hard. The West is hard. It's always been hard, but
always, yeah.
It's getting crazy. I can't wait till next season to see all this.
Yeah, it's and you're right. The West is hard. I mean, you still got the Clippers out there. You still got Kawhi. You still got Paul George. I mean, that team couldn't really. I feel like they, and we're going to get into that in a minute, but like there was just a lot of injuries in the West this year too. Like, and a lot of teams that could have gone further didn't go as far as they could have because they were held back by that. and, you know, the Lakers, you know, being paramount and all that, you know, like, you know, I feel like it was almost accidental that the Suns got there, but, you know, what can you do? And yeah, I mean, Westbrook to me has always been, I've always thought he was explosive as an athlete in the way that Michael Jordan was explosive as an athlete. You know, like I always thought that he just had that, you know, kind of physical, you know, just ability to be fast and to jump and to, you know, get through guys. And like, you know, you can't, once he gets ahead of steam, you're not slowing him down at all. Like he, you know, he's tough to guard. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the West is the Lakers to lose if they can, you know, especially with LeBron back healthy. Like, I mean, he's, you know, I don't know how much longer he has. I don't know if he's like in a kind of trying to do like a Tom Brady thing and play forever, but like,
just
who
keep
knows?
the game.
And I think he probably wants to play with his son too. I think that's like a long-term goal for him is to play with Bronny, and like, you know, that would be really cool if we could see something like that. So yeah, so that's, you know, that was the big deal last night and you know, with the draft. And actually, just a fun side story. So that kid, the Pistons took Cade Cameron, #1 pick.
Yeah.
My uncle Eric, used to be a teacher. He's retired now. He used to teach at this prep school down in Florida called Montverde Academy. He was a weight coach down there, and they've produced a lot of NBA players like Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, D'Angelo Russell went there, RJ Barrett. So he's been there like their weight coach, and he had like nothing but good things to say about that kid. I guess he's, you know, a good player, and like, you know, I wish him well in Detroit. I hope he does well. So yeah, so let's move along here to, all right, so NBA Finals. Here we go. So the Suns meltdown. I had high hopes for the Suns, man. You know, a lot of people were pulling for the Bucks, and I get it. Like Giannis is a great story, but you know, I'm a card collector. I've got Devin Booker's rookie card, and all I'm thinking is, you know, if he wins, the value of that card is just going to keep shooting up. You know, but unfortunately, things didn't go my way. So, what are your thoughts? Did they choke? What happened? Like,
I don't know, man. I've been thinking about it, and I was going for the Suns. I'm a Devin Booker person. I like D Book.
Yeah, I like Chris Paul too. Yeah,
I love Chris Paul. And I have a lot of respect. I've always had respect for him because it seems like he's always had to make a good situation out of just a little bit, you know, because got drafted to the Hornets, and that team they were a monster. And he led it like young, you know what I'm saying, in the West. Plays for the Clippers.
Lob City.
Turns that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him go to the Lakers, which I really feel like that hurt my feelings because he definitely would have had some jewelry if he got to play with Kobe.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know, man. They definitely choked. I don't know what it was. I don't know what happened. You know, I've never been on that kind of stage. I couldn't fathom that kind of pressure. So I can't talk trash. I can't say anything.
No. And I think it was just like, it was literally one of those things where like one kind of play can change the momentum of an entire series, you know, like the Drew Holiday thing and, you know, stealing the ball and like, you know, all of that just really changed the momentum of the whole thing. And it, you know, and then Giannis just, you know, turned his game up to 11. And, you know,
that last game was crazy.
If he's on that kind of level, you know, there's nobody going to stop him. I mean, he reminds me of, you know, you're wearing a Magic jersey. Like he reminds me of Shaq, you know, young Shaq, like when Shaq could run the floor and, you know, like get, you know, coast to coast and like do whatever he wants. Like, and Giannis has a little more skill as a ball handler and, you know, that kind of stuff too. But, you know, different player, but just in terms of like size and build, like, yeah, it was really good to see Giannis get, to win. He's a great story. He seems like he's a good dude. And, it's good to have somebody different, winning it other than, LeBron or KD or, the usual guys.
That's gonna stop though.
Oh, I know. And that, yeah,
stop.
yeah.
That was just this year. But
right.
he
Well, that's the next question. So, will either Phoenix or Milwaukee make it back? I don't think so.
In the East, Milwaukee will make it to the conference finals. Yes.
I think they're gonna beat Brooklyn though. I don't think so.
They're gonna make it to the conference finals. And I ain't gonna make it back to the finals.
Right.
Brooklyn needs to get their stuff together. Again, KD, that's my Tracy McGrady replacement. You know what I mean? For the current state of basketball.
Kyrie drives me a little nuts sometimes. He
drives everybody a little nuts. You know what I mean? He drives everybody, but the dude is an amazing.
Incredible ball player. Yeah,
I can't take nothing from him neither. Again, I don't know the stresses these dudes is under. And like he was saying, like, look, man, deal with this 24/7, 365. If I don't want to talk about it, I'm not going to talk about it. If I want to be around it, I won't be around it. So
he's one of the best ball handlers I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
yeah, the way he passed the rock is different.
And then Harden, Harden's just got to have his head on his shoulders, and you put those three together, and it's lights out. See you Eastern Conference. Yeah,
out for the East. It's like just
my poor Celtics have no chance.
I mean, y'all. I don't know what's up with y'all, man.
I don't either. We had a shot.
Yeah, I don't think the thing. I think the thing with you guys is y'all are looking for another Paul Pierce type person, just a person that's gonna lead with no question. And right now, I don't think that any of those guys, as talented as they are, they're all guys that would come after a Paul Pierce. Down to Tatum. Tatum's amazing. I like that kid, but it's like, I mean, he's not.
Jaylen Brown's an incredible basketball player.
I love that kid. I personally think he's going.
I think he's the best player on the team. Yeah.
I think y'all gonna let him go, and he's gonna come to OKC.
Oh man, I'd be bummed.
I'll be happy, but I don't think we would have made that move already. You know what I'm saying? We already took y'all point guard, so we, I don't know.
Dude, I'll never forget random, short side story. I'll never forget where I was when Gordon Hayward broke his leg. I was living out in West Hartford at the time. I had a house out there, and it was obviously the first game of the season. Boston's playing Cleveland, LeBron, Kyrie was on the Celtics at the time. But yeah, and I had to, for some reason, I had to stream the game through my computer to our TV, and it was glitchy and it was freezing. And then when the computer unfroze, all I heard is, "Oh my God, Gordon Hayward just broke his leg." And you see him, and his foot's turned around on the floor, and I'm like, "Oh my!" Like, it was one of that, and like the Paul George thing. When he hurt himself, like those were like two of the craziest injuries I've ever seen in my life. And I was so excited for Hayward to come to the Celtics because like I'd followed him out in Utah. Like he's not. I mean, he's probably like a B+ A- player, but still a guy who can drop 20 in a heartbeat. Like, and does and is a good facilitator, good passer. He's kind of taller. Like I was so sad when he got hurt because like that was our, him and Kyrie was like our whole season that year.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I remember that. And I was on my way to get some Chipotle, and I walked in the house. I was like, all right, cool. I'll catch that. You know what I mean? It's the first, what was it? It was the first quarter. It was like the first, like,
it was like 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh man, ain't nothing gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I left my wallet. I went back in, and like, I was looking at it. I was like, oh, yo, what's up with this joint? I was like, what that just happened? I was like, I'm gonna go get some Chipotle now because I'm hungry.
I just remember, everybody kind of like, all the guys on the floor, like, were just in shock, LeBron included. Like, I think Jay Crowder was out there, like, and like, it just was, and Kyrie almost like rallied and almost won that game for the Celtics. They weren't they were pretty close. Like, Kyrie, went out of his mind and just, took over. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, So back to the last question here. So do you think this is CP3, Chris Paul, his last chance at a championship?
No.
No.
He goes to the playoffs every year. I mean, he took that OKC team to the playoffs, and everybody was like, "Oh, whatever." They was writing us off, but no, I don't think it's his last time. Does he have a lot of time? No, I think he leaves when LeBron leaves. So 2 more seasons. I give him 2 more seasons. I think that last season of his, he'll get moved. Actually, I think he's gonna go somewhere else this season, but I don't know where.
Right. Yeah. I don't think he does it with Phoenix. Yeah. He's got to go somewhere else to do it. Yeah.
Phoenix, I see Phoenix in the next 5 years. If Booker stays, I see him. I can see Booker getting back and Ayton. I can see them two getting back, just working on their craft and everything.
Yeah.
But for both of these teams, I think these were the best. These were the best second options for the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because LeBron he knew where it was at. We're hurt. We didn't get no time to rest. We just coming from the bubble. I ain't see my family. Like, let's take a break. Let's get back right. You know, the Clippers were ridden with injuries. Like that whole Kawhi situation, like, I was like, oh, Kawhi's gonna come back. No, he's not. You know what I mean? Like, so Kawhi taking care of his body the way he does, you know, was a benefit. But what I can say, and same thing with Milwaukee, because Brooklyn wasn't 100%. And though KD played amazing, I mean, it's still a team sport, and everybody's professionals on that court. Right. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're really gonna just mollywop these teams. Like, these guys they're professionals and they're gonna play. And I really like Drew Holiday.
Me too.
I like the Bucks winning, but I like Drew Holiday winning more than anything because he's my favorite player on that team.
Yep.
Like I felt like when he left the league because of his wife, and they just kind of gave him that grace, I was like, you know what? This is a good dude. I like this dude. He didn't care. He was like, man, this is it. This is it for me. And but now he's back and he's
tearing it up.
Tearing it up, and he's huge.
He's playing in the Olympics right now. Yeah.
Right.
And we're gonna get there in a second. Yeah, and I always what's his name on the Bucks always makes me laugh. Good player, but just funny. Brook Lopez. I like him. Yeah, aren't both the Lopez brothers on that team now?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
I thought they were. Maybe they're not, but I know Brook is definitely on that. Like he was on those Nets teams with like Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, and like those are actually some decent teams. Like they used to give the Celtics fits. I remember that. Like, so yeah, it's good to see the Bucks. You know, the Bucks haven't won since, you know, Oscar Robertson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, you know, it's good to see them do that. All right, so here we go. Next. All right, so here we go. USA men's basketball. Here is our roster. We've got Drew Holiday, and this is sorted by position. So all our guards, we got Drew Holiday, Zach LaVine. I didn't even think of Zach. Zach LaVine seems like a big guard to me, but Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, Keldon Johnson. Your forwards are Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Chris Middleton, Draymond Green, Jeremy Grant, and your centers are Bam Adebayo and JaVale McGee. Now, obviously, KD is the focal point. I mean, he's our, you know, number one. You know, I've always kind of thought of him as being the number 2 player in the world behind LeBron. But who else on that roster? You know, Damian Lillard also, like I would probably consider him to be the number 2 player on the team. But who on that roster stands out to you? Who do you think can, you know, make an impact and help the team?
Again, I like Drew. Jason Tatum's out there, yeah?
Yep, Tatum's out there, yep.
And Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton's good, yeah.
Honestly, honestly, I don't. It's between Dame or KD. Really got to run it. They got to. And after them, I think. I don't know.
Booker's out there. He's pretty good.
I don't know, man. Like, I think
he's young though. He's young.
Yeah, but still, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know.
I think it would be great for Tatum to step up, and if he could, take on a leadership role, I think that would help him in terms of even confidence going back to the NBA and playing the next season. Because
you know what? I think Tatum might be the best option. So I think it would be Tatum, then Book.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going with KD first. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
KD, Dame, Tatum. Nope. Tatum and Book are 3A and 3B. I don't even want to say 4.
Yeah, they're close enough. Yeah.
They're super, they have that same kind of like grit to their game where it's like if they want to, they will.
Yeah, and both guys could go out and drop 50 on a like nothing. Yeah. Other players who I was thinking about, I think our center, our centers, Bam Adebayo is a good player. JaVale McGee, I feel like, has been in the league forever. He's been around for a while. He's solid. I think we're going to look at the last team we had. I think we had DeAndre Jordan out there last time. But, when you've got that many talented forwards, Middleton, Draymond Green.
As well. Jeremy Grant is a sneak. He'll sneak and give you 35.
Yeah.
A quiet 35. He'll just bucket after bucket after bucket. So
who's he playing for nowadays? I remember, wasn't he on the Bulls? Or OKC?
He was on OKC. Then we got rid of him because we were paying him a lot. That was kind of a weird trade for me. But we got him, and then he went to the Nuggets.
Oh, he's on the Nuggets. Okay.
Yeah. And then because did we trade him for Gallinari?
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. But so then he went to the Nuggets, and then the Nuggets got rid of him after they had that good playoff run. And he went to Detroit, but I don't know if he's still in Detroit or not.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, I don't remember if because Derrick Rose was with Detroit for a second, right?
Yep, Derrick Rose.
Him and D Rose were playing together. It was him, D Rose, and somebody else, Blake.
Yeah, Blake Griffin. Yep, who's now on the Nets. Yeah,
right. So, but I don't know. The team's solid, man. Like it's a good USA basketball team, but I mean, if you compare it to other like USA basketball teams,
not that good. I mean, and we're gonna get there in a second for sure.
Respectfully, but no.
Respectfully. I mean, you got some great players on there, but even we're gonna look at the 2016 team in a minute. Like it pales in even comparison to that team. And then forget like my favorite team, the 92 team. I mean,
that team is the best.
Nobody's gonna beat that team.
No.
I mean, that's just my opinion, but
no, that's the fact. I don't care.
Yeah, nobody's beating that team.
That's a fact, man. That team was ridiculous. Monstars. It was. Oh yeah. Different.
Did you see the new Space Jam?
I did.
Did you like it? I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it. You know what I mean? But I'm one of those like I don't want to call myself a critic, but I'm one of the people that's like, look, man, some things only need to be touched once, and that's it.
Yeah. No, I got you on that. I hear you.
It was a once in a lifetime thing, but it was a good movie. But they're really,
I thought like some of the like special effects and the animation, like I thought that was really cool. I thought they did a really good job with that, and it was a different. Like they didn't just run it back and do the same exact storyline. They came up with a unique story, and I thought it was cool. It was like a father-son thing, and that whole aspect of it I thought was pretty cool. All right. So then we've got results so far. So I'm actually just I just jumped on my phone, and so we've had mixed results. Obviously, we lost to France, which was not good.
Right.
And then we beat Iran, killed Iran, and then today we also beat the Czech Republic. And I'm on Bleacher Report on my phone right now. It was 119 to 84. It looks, and according to the headline, it was Durant and Tatum kind of carrying the team today in that win. Those two guys stepped up. So, you know, for me, I was so, you know, we talked about it, like I was so frustrated losing to France because a lot of the guys, I mean, I think their best players like Rudy Gobert, good player, like, you know, good big man, good, you know, shot blocker, good, you know, plugs up the paint kind of guy. But like an Evan Fournier, who's on the Celtics, like he plays for that team. He's, you know, he's another guy who will, you know, borderline 6-man, like can give you 20 in a heartbeat. Like, you know, that kind of thing. But nobody that, you know, and then there's a lot of guys who like this guy, Gershon Yabusele, like these guys who are like deep bench players for the Celtics are out there like killing Team USA. And I'm like, you know, and Fournier was quoted after the game. He's like, and he said something interesting. He was like, individually, they're great players, but as a team, they can be beaten. And that, you know, that kind of worried me a little bit because like, you know, if we have to play better, you know, if we have to play Spain or like, you know, Argentina or actually Slovenia, you know, Luka Doncic is out there killing it with Slovenia. Like, you know, we might be in trouble. Like there's really good foreign players out there who play a different style of game, you know?
You know what it is, man? My background, you know, I'm my father was from Haiti, so but just having a different knowledge of a different culture and being a part of a different culture,
Yep.
pride plays a lot um into this, into the Olympics. That's really all it is. It's just being proud. Now, us as Americans, we confuse pride with being like arrogance.
Sure.
So you kind of walk out of there because I mean it's the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And everybody watches the NBA. They don't watch whatever league is anywhere else. The goal is to get here. So you got to walk around with a little bit of a, you know, like, I got this. You know, this is ours. This is ours. This belongs to us. But
Right.
there's other countries that they're playing for, you know, it's different. Like in soccer, like it's different.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, especially I know you heard about all the stuff that happened in England. You know what I'm saying? After them boys missed them goals, and it's like, yo, don't play around. You know what I mean? Like this isn't a joke. You missing? Like, boy, you better don't go to sleep for 3 months. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to basketball, but that's the fact, like, yo, individually they're amazing. I don't think if I was playing one-on-one, I know I ain't scoring on nobody, you know, and
You're not, then I'm
once
definitely
they come
not.
together, do I still think they can get a gold medal? Yes.
Yeah.
I do. But it's gonna be a different style of a gold medal. Like, I mean, gold is gold, whatever. But I feel like still in the grand scheme of things, where they fall.
Well, and you know, you mentioned pride and a lot of guys playing for their country. I mean, you've got the Gasol brothers out playing for Spain in their last, you know, kind of go around. I mean, if we end up going against them, you know, they're going to give us all they've got. Like, and they're both good. Like, you know, it's like, so they're going to have to really sharpen up and you know, hopefully you know, getting a couple wins under their belt, you know, with the last 2 games does that and gives a, you know, and it's tough too, because you've got guys, you know, just joining the team who were just in the finals. Like, you know, you got guys who couldn't even practice with them and couldn't, you know, learn the flow of whatever, you know, Pop's trying to teach them how to do out there. And like, so, I mean, we'll see. So we've got the quarterfinal on Tuesday. So it looks like we're going to definitely, you know, we'll be there. And yeah, it should be interesting to see how it plays out. And maybe we can do a follow-up, and if we do win the gold, we can, kind of come back and do this again and just give our thoughts. But so yeah, I mean, it's frustrating because they play the game so early in the morning. They're on like 8 in the morning every day, or like, when they come on, because they're on the other side of the world. So it's a little hard to follow.
Right.
But yeah, so here's a fun one. So we got 2016 versus 92. Who you got? You can see the rosters there. You know who I've got, but
honestly, bro, I think I'm going with you. I'm going with 92.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, like, let's keep all the big names out of it. Everybody was a big name. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, every player on that roster.
I don't care. It's 92. Like, because just I know a lot of people want to talk about like Michael Jordan and LeBron and blah 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 in a different style of play, but it is. I had to tell somebody yesterday. I said LeBron was the last little bit of like the old school style of basketball, because I was like, think about when LeBron got drafted. Mm-hmm. They weren't doing Euro steps.
No, that was
drafted. Yeah. But then here comes Manu,
Ginobili. Yeah.
And they're like, it's a travel. No, it's not a travel, bro. This is just the silky dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he was real good.
Like, he figured this out. And then the game is forever been evolving. But like, I mean, in the 90s, things were just so much more aggressive.
Right.
Like, every aspect of us growing up was aggressive. It was just aggressive. And so it's like, now when you watch people play, it's a little like, they can't even really talk like they used to.
Well, I mean, dude, I even remember, like, just in high school, like gym class, like we'd be going at each other playing ball just in gym class, like we didn't care. It just was how you played, It was just yeah, an all boys gym class. I mean, we were killing each other, like yeah. But it was how the game was played, and and guys weren't afraid to really go all out. And I watched, I sent you that thing about the dream team. Like, Charles Barkley would take it personal if somebody elbowed him, and he'd give it right back to him. And, he didn't care if he got thrown out of the game or it got him negative press. I mean, if you're going to hit him, he was going to hit you back, like it was, and yes, I mean, some of my favorite players are just, I'm a huge David Robinson fan, like the Admiral. Like, he was I mean, in terms of just like a great person overall, but like just a talented guy. Like, and you got him and Ewing as your centers. I mean, obviously my three guys, Magic, Jordan, and Bird, like, my three favorite players ever. And I think three of the best players to ever play. Like, and you've got, I mean, the 2016, you'd have, like you said, contrasting styles. I think that the 2016 team would be a little faster. They'd be running the floor a little more. The ball would be moving a little bit, and there'd be a lot more three pointers.
That's the only thing that I think would be different.
That's the only challenge. Yeah.
The 92 team would have kept up with them still.
Right.
John Stockton is locking everybody up. Like, he's just like, I says about him. He was hard nosed, and like, I don't know, like, you got to think about Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin was that. Come on, man. Chris Mullin was great.
Yeah, tough for this.
Christian Laettner. These are like defensive minded people. You can't.
These are guys who are going to get.
I'm trying to look at him. I'm like, who's really? Harrison Barnes doesn't stand a chance.
No, he sucks.
Like, I'm really trying to look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, who can really? Kyle Lowry's getting locked up. DeMar DeRozan doesn't stand a chance.
Again. Well, Scottie Pippen's locking everybody up. That's it.
Scottie's locking everybody up.
It's like
Patrick Ewing's not. Yo, did you? What series was that? No, he was in college. When he was playing with Georgetown, I can't remember who they were playing though. but whoever they were playing, he wouldn't let them score. Like he wouldn't let the ball go in the basket. And he said the reason he did that was because it would mess with your head. Like as a shooter, like me, as a shooter, I need to see the ball go in to get, all right, cool, it went in.
Getting a rhythm,
Put the ball right in that spot again. He was getting hella goaltends. Beep, 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 beep. He wouldn't do it. And it would, honestly, me, like when I heard him say it, I got mad as if he was doing it to me. I was like, yo, why would he do that? But that's a tactic, like, man, get out of here. And that everybody on the other side they can't make it in the paint. I'm sorry, it's 92.
Yeah,
man.
they're not getting in there. I mean, who's, and what I didn't, until I did a little more research, like I didn't know that LeBron wasn't on this team. He withdrew. He didn't play. So like without LeBron, you're not getting past Jordan. Like
2016 KD, and I love them, but it's like I feel like I don't know what happened to my man's, but once he left, he got this chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That chip on his shoulder it makes him play a little better, in my opinion. He's always been a great player, but like that chip he has on his shoulder is like, but no, it's 92, dog. It's 92.
Yeah, I'm looking over these names and, Clyde Drexler's just going to be dunking on you all day. Like, and that was like tail end Clyde Drexler of his career.
Right.
I mean, when he was young, I mean, he was like, Dr. J, like, same kind of guy, like could fly, like, and, you got, Magic came out of retirement to play for that team, but like, who's passing the ball like Magic on the 2016 team? Nobody. Like nobody's got that.
Passing the ball like John Stockton.
Stockton too. Yeah, I mean both of those guys. That those two guards alone. I mean you're moving the ball. Like you watch those guys play, and it's a work of art. Like the way they move the ball, it was just crazy. Like, and you got old Larry Bird just kick it out to Bird on the 3-point line. He's knocking it down. Like I mean it's like you're not gonna beat them. Yeah,
and it's 2 1-2 punches. John Stockton and Karl Malone, they play together. And Mike and Scotty, they play together. So even if everybody has bad games and one of those pairs has a good game, they're still gonna beat 2016. Next question.
Yeah, dude. And there's a funny story about those guys. Like, so in that documentary, they were like warming up for the Olympics, the 92 team, and Chuck Daly was their coach, who coached the Bad Boy Pistons, Isaiah Thomas and all those guys. And they do this, like, they played this like warm-up game against like college kids. It was like Chris Webber was on that team, Grant Hill, when they were in college, and this college team beat them. And so they interview Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K, the Duke coach, who was an assistant on the team at that time. And he's like, don't be fooled. He's like, Chuck threw that game. He's like, look at how little Michael Jordan played in that game. And then look at what happened when they played again. Like, and Chris Webber was like, yeah, we couldn't score a point. Like, these guys, and Chris Webber is a great player, but, like, it just, it's really, it's a really cool, like, my dad was always, I watched basketball with him when I was a little kid. And like, this was the era that he was young in the 80s. Like he watched the Lakers and the Celtics go at it. He watched the rise of Michael Jordan. And so it'll always, that era of basketball, and I love basketball right now, but that era will always hold like a special place in my heart, like it was a special time. And there's a lot of guys who are
everything was special then, man. Like just entertainment in and of itself was because there was really no limit. There was no line, like you can't do that. So they're like, let's try it. Look, I'm a big wrestling fan as well.
I was going to ask you about that.
Wrestling was bananas. Wrestling was bananas when in the 90s, the Attitude Era. And that's what that whole thing was about. It was all attitude.
It
was
totally.
Just everything.
I'm glad you brought that up because if we're gonna hit some side topics, what do you think of Cena coming back?
I missed. So the You Can't See Me one, like John Cena, like that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. But I miss the Cena that, like, because I stopped watching wrestling for a while until my son was born.
Mm-hmm.
So from like, I'll say like right before he graduated, like 05.
Okay.
I stopped watching it for real.
Yep.
But I missed that old school John Cena, like jean shorts. Or no, not jean shorts. I'm sorry, like the wrestling outfit Cena.
I met him.
But I think it's dope.
Yeah. He's a Springfield.
My son got to see him.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, my son got to see him. Yeah, like I took him to a live Raw in Boston.
That's cool, man.
For his fourth birthday. He got so excited that he threw up on me. He was like, yeah. And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because I picked him up and he was like squirming around and I like threw him over my shoulder and like I turned him around because people were like, yeah, little man. People were like giving him headbands and stuff. And like when I was bringing him down, I felt it, but I smelt it first because we went to Qdoba before. I was like, what the hell does that smell? And I looked at my shoulder. I was like, my baby done threw up on me. He was like, yeah. Like, I've never seen somebody that excited threw up.
That's great.
So in, bro. Stayed up the whole show, and then we got to see the dark match after. And I was like this close to getting an autograph, but he was just like, hey, little man, hey, you talk to him. You know what I mean? But I was like, damn, I can't get this autograph because they was kicking us out. But
that's cool, man. I've never been to a live wrestling event. Yeah.
Oh, it was dope. But honestly, I don't know if you've been keeping up with wrestling at all. But
yeah, I have.
Now, the WWE's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. They're like letting people go. They just let go of Bray Wyatt.
The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. They just let him go, yeah.
So it's like right now they're pulling strings because John Cena is going to be loyal to the end with Vince. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on because CM Punk, everybody's going to AEW. So
right, yeah, Daniel Bryan's going there, yeah.
Bryan's going now. I'm pretty sure that Bray's gonna go.
Braun Strowman.
Punk is back there. Brock, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. So
it's an interesting time, and they're trying to, their current champions, they're really putting in a lot of work to make you fall in love with them, or love them or hate them. You got Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, or did Cena just take the title off Roman Reigns? Something just happened.
I told you, bro. I stopped watching again. Like during COVID, I let it go. And because it was just so weird to me seeing all the little screens, like you know what I'm saying? It was just weird to me.
It's finally back and it's finally live again. It's like it's been forever, and like it's cool to see them in front of a live crowd again. And it's coming to Boston this fall. I might try to go to SmackDown and just check it out, in person for myself, because I am a fan, and I did watch it, in the era you were talking about, the Attitude Era. I love The Undertaker, like, one of my favorites.
Right. Stone Cold was my man, but it's like, Bobby Lashley was in the first time during the Attitude Era, towards the tail end of it. But like, come on, we couldn't do that DX stuff. Granted, we went to a Christian school, but it's like, if you can't be telling nobody to say.
No, we can't. We would have gotten in trouble for that.
Tab back, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we would have been in detention for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. I kind of came off it in high school too. I watched it as a kid. I used to like the WCW. Like, I like Goldberg a lot, and Sting, and all those guys who were over there too. Like, they, and Goldberg's WWE now. I think Sting did a brief stint in the W. Now he's AEW too.
He went there just so he can get in the Hall of Fame.
He had a match with Triple H. I think that was pretty good at WrestleMania. But yeah, no, it's wrestling's a funny thing. It's like one of those things, like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, people look at you like you have 12 heads, like you're like a nerd. And it's like, I don't care. Like, I just enjoy it.
Man. I like wrestling. I like comic books, bro. Like I'm a big black dude, man. I'm 6'1", 265 pounds. Like a lot of people want to think I be talking about it, going to the comic book store, and I come out with a big grin on my face, all my teeth are showing.
Yeah. No, I went into a comic book store the other day. I was up in Maine. I bought a Superman from like 1963. It's pretty cool. I got that and an Obi-Wan Kenobi action figure. And I was walking out of there grinning too. I was actually in there looking for sports cards, but they didn't have anything like that. It was all just, comics and that kind of stuff. So the wrestling thing, have you been writing at all? Have you been writing any poetry? Have you been doing anything like that?
Me and you were supposed to get together and write something, something. I might jot something down on my phone, but really, man, with my work, I really,
I get it. I
had the chance, but I have told myself next month I want to write either a piece of a poem, something, or a whole one a day. I want to do something every day and see how that goes. Just like I'm doing my videos every day.
Right.
And,
yeah.
I'll find time to do it because doing the videos, even though it's 30 seconds, 15 seconds for some, it's like.
Well, it takes a lot of thought and effort to put that out there. Yeah.
But it's a good release. And whatever I was talking about earlier in the day, or if it's just something that I thought about during the day, I'm like, man, people can use this. You know what I mean? Especially at the end of the day, you're just flipping through your phone, you see something, and you use it to carry on to the next day. So,
Yeah. No, and it's I appreciate you doing that because, like, I'm a teacher and like I do this. Social emotional learning is like so important, and like teaching kids. For me, it's always. Yes, I want my students to be academically sound, but my biggest goal for them is to leave a better person than they came, and so I have this program, I call it Morning Huddle, like a football huddle. And like, there's a couple different pages on YouTube, like one's like called Fearless Soul, Fearless Motivation. And so like, I'll show them a video with a positive message, like, they can, I'll let them draw, like write, like however they want to respond to it while it's happening. And then we have a discussion, and it's a really good thing. And you're taking that same idea, like same kind of concept, and you're putting out there for adults. Like, it's not just kids who need to hear that. Like, mental health is a crazy thing, man. Like, everybody struggles, everybody has hard times. Like, we all go through stuff. And it's, that one you posted the other day about the difference between logic and emotion, like that meant so much to me, because like the times when I like ride my emotions and I let those like govern myself and dictate, I end up in a tough place, like you said. And it's like, people need to hear that stuff. So it's important. And, so I just appreciate you doing that.
Thank you. I'm gonna keep it up. It's for, because I worked up until recently in mental health. I worked with at-risk youth. The last job I was with down here in Carolina, I was working with at-risk youth that had autism and something else. Yeah. So I did this a lot. Every day I'm just telling them like, yo, stop. You know what I mean? Just stop, bro.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And it's just, I don't know. That's where my heart is. I've always felt that, I like helping people. Sometimes it's hard with adults because we are a little bullheaded and we're set in our ways. But with kids, it's kind of easy. No, I don't want to say manipulate, but it's easier to change the course of like the way their life is going.
It's easier to have an impact. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely easier to have an impact. That's the way to say it. It's easier to have an impact because us, you're like, yeah, shut up. You got bills. I got.
I don't want to listen to you. Yeah, I get where.
What makes a difference, man? You ain't famous. I don't want to hear you. That's what it is. We kind of gotta get through all the fog. Kids, there's not that. Well, I guess there is a lot of fog now.
Well, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I used to work in the summers. This is a different summer for me, but I used to work at like a special needs behavioral summer camp, and dealing with kind of similar kids that you're talking about. And
in Westfield.
No, in West Springfield. It's called Camp. It was called Camp Robinson. I don't know if it's still there. But I used to do that, and I used to work with a kid who had some autism and some behavioral issues, and it makes you appreciate the process of education and the process of teaching somebody something when you're because I'm a general ed teacher, but like when I'm in that environment, and like I just have to be so much more patient and so much more understand, like it just makes you a more well-rounded person. And I appreciate those experiences, and people, especially people who do that full time. Like I wasn't doing it full time,
Right.
It was like a summer thing for me, but I definitely hear you there. So just I guess just one more thing. Anybody you want to shout out, say hi to, whatever you want to do.
Nah, man, I want to give you a shout out, bro. Like, thanks for inviting me on this, man. Like, means a lot. I've been I miss you, bro.
I miss you too, man. It's good.
I was telling somebody, like, I don't know, this is like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I had a homeboy in high school because this dude was like, I'm thinking about getting a Lincoln. I was like, what? It's just the most random thing.
A Lincoln.
Yeah. He was like, yo, I want to get a Lincoln. I said, what you want to get? He was like, a town car. I was like, yeah. And then I was like, what color? And he was like, blue. I was like, what?
Baby blue. Like, yeah.
I said, yo, I had this homeboy, man, and he had the Lincoln, and the way he would sit, it was like a Lego man, because you were like straight. And I was like, yo, I was like, yo, that's the best thing in the world, yo. Like seeing you pull up or pull out of the parking lot. I was like, yo,
dude, that car got me through a lot, man. That car got me through college, and then
car was awesome.
And then my dad and I, when I bought my Jeep, my dad and I had to jumpstart it to get it to the dealership, and then we traded it in. And then it saw its end. But yeah, like it really.
Somebody somewhere is driving that thing.
I hope so. That was a great car. That was like riding in your living room, man. It was so comfortable. Like it was, and it didn't have any. It had like 40,000 miles on it when I got it. It really didn't have that much. So it was like,
really,
yeah. It was just it was my uncle's car, and it was like his wife like just like drove it to church every week, basically. Like not a lot of wear and tear on it. And it was basically, given to me as my first car. And yeah, that car got me through a lot. And it was great. It was a great band car because I could store a lot of gear in the trunk. We could fit our whole drum set and amps and all that stuff in the back. Like it was really good to me. I get, and I, just to return, like, thank you for coming on, man. Like, this whole thing I'm trying to do, like, it's not as good if I don't have somebody to talk to, like, and obviously, like, I remember in high school, you and I, whenever we had a free minute, we'd be talking basketball. Like we talking about the NBA. We'd be talking about, I remember, I don't know if you probably remember this, but you had a pair of sneakers and you used to write all your favorite players' names on your sneakers in high school. Do you remember that? Yeah. Like, I remember you writing like guys like Kirk Heinrich and like, like all these guys who were like, relevant players when we were, in the 2000s.
I don't know what it was about Kirk Heinrich, but I like that kid. I really do.
Yeah, he was for a time, he was kind of good. I remember, like guys like, T-Mac was all the rage, and like Steve Nash was really good back then. Like, Dirk and, obviously Kobe and Shaq. And actually, dude, if you want one, I did this box of basketball cards. Just give me an address. I've got a few of these Shaq rookies. If you want one, man, I'll send you down one. Yeah. So yeah, and actually just like in terms of shout outs, what was I going to say? Marcus Streeter, he posted a really funny video on Facebook today that just made me die laughing. And like, I told him we were going to do this, and he's like, right on, man. He's like, I'm definitely going to tune in. And like, I don't like, he didn't go to Was he with us the whole time at PVCS, or did he go
Nah,
somewhere else?
when did you get there?
I showed up sophomore year.
Sophomore year. So Marcus
was there that year.
Marcus was there because his dad was like a sub. And I think he was there for 2 years. He left after that because he wasn't there junior year.
No.
I think he was there 9th grade, 10th grade. Maybe he might, was he? I don't think he was there.
I don't even think he was there junior year. I think you're right.
Yeah, he ended up going to Commerce, but yeah, he wasn't there. He was only there for a little while. You know what I'm saying? He got out. I don't know why. I think his pop said no or something like that. I don't know. I talk to Marcus every now and again. You know what I'm saying?
Me too. Every now and again I talk to him. I mean, he seems like he's doing real well. Like he's world traveler, like, you know, doing cool stuff. He was on the basketball team. We all played together. Remember that coach, that JV coach, that Seth guy we had with a really high pitched voice?
Seth guy with a high pitched voice.
I'll never forget. There was one game, and I was playing JV ball sophomore year, and I shot a 3-pointer, and he was screaming at me not to do it because I'm not a 3-point shooter. Like, I stepped behind the line and just did it. He's like, no, no. Like, and I remember seeing you, like, you came in, you and, like, I think it was like Joel Chandler or somebody, like, you guys came into the gym, like, as I was shooting that shot, and I hit the shot. Like, it was, you know, at not like a guy that hit many 3-point shots, but I made the shot. And the coach is just yelling at me. He's like, never do that again. Like,
wait, are you talking about the head coach for JV or no?
Yeah.
That was Miss Whitterow's husband.
Well, yeah, there's some young guy who was there for 1 year.
No, that might have been. I don't remember because, you know, my thing was I was just trying to play varsity, but I had like this, and I told him a couple years ago, Cliff. I told Cliff I had like this beef with him that he didn't even know about because we played the same position.
Yeah, I never knew that guy. I think he graduated before I got there. I know who you're talking about.
Meet Cliff Jensen?
No, I never met him. No, I know
well,
of him.
I had a thing with, you know, because he was there. So him, Mark
Simpson.
Yep. And Drew.
Yep.
Me and Drew always butted heads. We were always going
I
back.
never liked him.
But his dad, like, you know, and I miss that guy. God rest him. But you know what I'm saying? It was them three. I had an issue with them three. So I was always trying to get on varsity so I can like outplay them. But by the time I got to varsity, I was good because I was playing with all my friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was playing with Joel and John and, you know what I'm saying, Joel, Marv. Like, we were good.
Yeah, Marvin. Yeah, Marvin was a good basketball player. Yeah, I remember I played that year. They asked me to play on the summer league team that year, and I did that. And there was one game, I'll never forget it, man. Like, we had to play West Springfield High School, which is where I was coming from. You know, like I knew all the guys on that team. They had this kid, Brendan Murphy, who scored like 1,000 points. Like, he was really good. He went on to play college ball, and we had to play in this hot gym in Holyoke. Like, there was no air conditioning.
Really tiny.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Was it the Y?
It might have been the Y. Yeah, it might have been the Y. Yeah.
It was nuts. Yeah.
So there was only 5 of us showed up to this game. Like, it was, so I had to run the whole time. It was like me, Travis, Marvin, Chris Larkin, which don't even count him because he couldn't get his butt up and down the floor. And I don't know, it might have been Joel Burgos, or like, I don't remember who the 5th guy was, but we had to run the whole game against this, you know, varsity squad from West Springfield. And it was like, they beat us like 100-44. Like, it was like, you know, but I blocked a couple shots and I scored a couple times. So I was happy about that. But like, yeah, that was a drubbing to remember for sure. And, you know, I was playing against kids from my class at Westside, this kid, Chris Rosswest, who I think he went on to play like soccer in Europe, and like just a lot of really good athletes on that team. And yeah, we got run out of the gym.
No, I got into a fight at that gym. You remember Mo?
Yeah, I remember Mo. Yeah.
I don't remember Mo's last name, but this is before he came to our school. And
Okay, yeah.
it was before he came to the school. And he played kind of slow. He kind of moved kind of slow. But I mean, he was efficient.
He was good.
He had nice handles, but he
Yeah.
was like too slow to like, I don't know. It was just fast enough for you not to get the ball from him.
Kind of like a Paul Pierce kind of player. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was him and this other kid, and they were working us out, bro. They were working us out, period. I can't say anything else about him. Marv was yelling at me like always. And he was like, man, get the ball. Like, I was like, all right, cool. So I ended up getting a steal, and I went down the court and I made the layup. And I was talking to Marvin, but the kid was between us. I was like, you good now? So like I'm yelling, but I was talking to Marvin.
Yeah.
And the kid like, you know what I mean? He pushed me. So I hit him. And then I couldn't play the rest of the summer. Then I got yelled at.
Marvin was stupid to push you. Marvin was a little skinny.
No, it wasn't Marv. Marv didn't push me.
It wasn't Marvin. Oh, okay.
So it was me. So I got the steal, made the layup, and the other kid that was giving us the work.
Oh, okay.
He was between us. And I was like, you good now? And I was talking. I said some other stuff. I ain't trying to cuss on your thing. But
sure.
You understand?
I got you.
I'm yelling and all this kind of stuff. But I'm talking to Marvin. The kid just wouldn't get out of my way. I kept trying to look around him, but he kept like getting in my, all right, whatever. And Marvin was like, he had his mouthpiece in. Like he's mumbling, you know what I mean? And the kid was just like, yeah, and he pushed me. And when he pushed me, like I hit the little mat behind underneath the basket. I just hit him.
Good.
The ref was like, you gotta go. I was
Get
like,
out.
Whatever. Yeah, then I'm yelling at Marv, then he was yelling at me because he only had 4. And Mo ended up with he got 30 points after that.
Yeah, Mo could ball. Mo was a good basketball player. Yeah, for sure. He was a funny kid too. I haven't seen him in years, but he always made me laugh. He was a funny guy.
Right.
And talking about Marvin, I had the best time playing varsity soccer with Marvin in high school because me and him weren't any good. So we were just on the bench most of the time, and we were just shooting the crap on the bench, making jokes and just having a good time. We'd occasionally get into a game, but it was neither of us, we were both basketball players playing soccer to just keep our wind and endurance up, basically. I had the best time hanging out with him on that team. He was, if you talk to him, I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but
that's I moved around when I was younger. That's when I first moved back to Springfield, that was one of the tightest bonds I have in my life. So I talk to him every morning.
I mean, say hey for me. Yeah, definitely say hi. Yeah.
I'll definitely do that. But yeah, I talked to him. I talked to him yesterday. I ain't talked to him today because I was working and I came and did this, but I talked to him yesterday.
Well, I'm sure he'll like this. Yeah. So let him know. All right, man. Well, I think that, that's all I've got. So, thanks for coming on. I'm going to, I'll link your clothing stuff in the description and put a link to your Instagram and all that too. So, again, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. And we'll have to do this again soon.
All right, man. No doubt. Just let me know.
All right, bro. We'll see you later.
Later.